Everyone, welcome back to Kudlow. I'm Larry Kudlow. Great pleasure to be with you today. Stocks today closed higher across the board. The Dow and the S&P 500 closed in record territory. The Nasdaq seems to have pulled out of correction territory. And I do think, we're going to come back to this later in the show, I do think the victory of worker freedom in the union election in Alabama with respect to Amazon, I think that was a big booster for the market all day long. It's the first non-anti-business development we've seen. But folks, the tax story continues to run hot on the front pages of all the major papers and the business website. Now, we've talked about it a lot, and with respect to our viewers who may agree or disagree with me, I am going to continue to talk a lot more about my complete opposition to President Biden's huge tax hike. Sorry, but that's my view. It's going to come to over $3 trillion. Former President Donald Trump's tax cut plan was $1.5 trillion. And by the by, the corporate part of that Trump tax cut plan was paid for within 2 years. And I just want to note, I think we have it up on the screens. You can take a look at it. This is bad arithmetic. So Trump lost $1.5 trillion in revenues temporarily. Mr. Biden wants $3 trillion in revenues permanently. So that's a swing of $4.5 trillion. Not good, because it's a swing in the wrong direction. Think about that. A little bit of arithmetic. Anyway, Mr. Biden's raising taxes by more than twice the Trump tax cut. This is what I call a wrong direction. It's going to make the U.S. way less competitive in the global race for capital and companies. And if it is legislated, believe me, it's going to do great damage to the economic boom in which we find ourselves today. Now, I want to focus this evening on one corner of this story, which is the idea being sold by President Biden and Treasury Secretary Janet Yellen that a key part of this tax hike is what they are calling a, quote, race to the bottom, end quote. To be blunt, respectfully, there is no such thing. There is no race to the bottom. I am sorry. Now, it's true enough and good enough. Many countries around the world have cut their corporate tax rate. Good. But no one is anywhere near zero. Come on. Let's get serious here. There is no race to the bottom. There is no zero. A lot of countries, by the way, have cut their tax rates. This is corporate tax rates to something around the mid-20s. And they also provide various tax credits and deductions to help companies without necessarily lowering the marginal tax rate, but it helps companies to invest. These are, deductions and tax credit. Now, problem here is 0 for 2. The Biden-Yellen plan would not only raise tax rates, but it would broaden the base. What you're supposed to do is lower tax rates and broaden the base to help pay for it and make it a simple and fair tax cut. But this is closing down important tax credits and deductions that have been a big help to capital investment spending, which creates more jobs and creates higher wages. Now, again, I'm not crazy about credits and deductions. I would say broaden the base, and then the corporate tax rate can be cut to 15%. 15%, okay? The broadening of the base helps to pay for it and makes it a simpler, more efficient tax system. But you have to pay off to make it help investment, to make it help business. We wanted a 15% marginal tax rate. This was written by a number of us way back during the campaign in late 2015 and early 2016. Unfortunately, the Biden-Yellen plan does it backwards, all right? Actually, they don't do it backwards. They do it wrong and wrong. They're broadening the base and raising the rate. It's going to be incredibly damaging to American competitiveness. Trust me on this. Going to make the U.S. a far less hospitable home for successful earners and entrepreneurs and their companies and factories and stores and workforce. Now, let's look at some factoids about this silly idea that there's a race to the bottom. Before the Trump business tax cut, the United States had the #1 highest federal state rate at 38.9%. Okay, hold that number. Make a note of it. We were #1 among 36 developed countries. Now, after the Trump tax cut passed, we moved down the list a lot, and we were only the 14th highest. We had an effective rate of 25.8%. But that's not that great. We were just the 14th highest. Wasn't zero either. Now, frankly, I've always been a fan of Ireland. I love Ireland. I'm not Irish, but I love Ireland. Ireland has a 12.5% corporate tax. They are the second lowest, get this, to Hungary, which has a 9% corporate tax rate. Now, neither of those are zero. Both of those are promoting solid economic growth. Ireland, incidentally, has one of the best economic stories in recent years of any country around the world. Now, another rub. If the Biden-Yellen tax hike passes, the U.S. will soar back, to get this, to #1 highest corporate tax rate at 32.4%. Okay? We go back to the #1 highest corporate tax rate. Not good. Not where we want to be. We'd be higher than Mexico, Germany, Japan, France, Canada, and Switzerland. By the way, don't forget, China's combined corporate tax rate is 25%. So we would be way above China. Is that really what we want? And incidentally, my favorite, Ireland, they would still be at 12.5%. So there is no race to the bottom. I am sorry. And then, to make things worse, this is the base broader. If you tack on a 21% global minimum tax for U.S. companies, it is going to make the tax burden far, far worse. It's a big sticking point, okay? That number was 10.5%. Now they're proposing to jack it up to 21%. Nobody is going to go to 21%. Ms. Yellen thinks she's going to get all of Europe and Asia to go up to 21% for a global minimum tax. With all respect, Madam Secretary, think again. The best you'll get out of those birds, and I was involved in negotiations, Stephen Mnuchin had to take the brunt of it at these OECD meetings. The best you're going to get out of that crowd is 12, maybe 13%. They will never go to 21%. And trust me, they will keep tax credits. They will keep deductions. So we will lose everywhere. This Biden-Yellen story, it's not a revenue raiser. Numerous forecasters expect GDP, jobs, wages, and capital to fall if this were enacted, okay? It's actually going to be completely frank with you. I see this as really left-wing class warfare. Tax the rich, tax the successful. They're not going to get the money. They are going to damage our economy. We will not be competitive worldwide. Kind of the economic version of cancel culture. And it may be the end of our successful economic history. I was on airplanes all day yesterday, so I got a frog in my throat. Now, the next question becomes, are roaring bullish stock markets starting to fear big policy mistakes from Joe Biden's Washington? Those policy mistakes could derail the unmitigated optimism that we see.